Day 18, day 19, getting my days mixed up. I was kind of discouraged this morning. 100 days to London. I thought, man, I still haven't have this speed totally back, and uh, even for a few miles. So, and this whole cadence thing, I still think there was something there. And so today I went out and I kind of was thinking about the whole cadence thing, and I started out at a slow pace. 10:10 was my first pace, and I thought, what am I doing wrong? I was kind of trying to make sure, I was feeling my feet hit the ground in the proper way, and then I started thinking, you know. What I need to do is listen to my feet hit the ground because I was thinking of Andy Martin, who's a fast runner up here. He has like a cadence of 200, and I remember he beat me in a 5K and came and passed me at the 2.5 mile mark. And I could hear this just pitter patter behind me. And I thought it was a little, there was a lot of kids that run that race. I thought, man, some little kids coming after me. And sure enough, it was Andy Martin flying around me with this 200 cadence pace. And so I started thinking, I go, my leg is kind of week or whatever from the injury, and so the way it feels might not be right. And I go, so I'm gonna start listening to it. And I was trying to say, okay, I want to listen to my feet hit the ground and make sure it's actually increasing. As soon as I started doing that, about mile 1.5, I instantly started picking things up. And so all of a sudden at mile 3, I was at an 8:20, then I was at an 8:10 at 4, then I was at an 8 at 5, another 8, and then a 7:57, and then the last mile was a 7:36, which is my fastest mile, and I really wasn't planning on doing any kind of progression or faster run, but I thought, I need to figure this out. And as soon as the other thing, what I was doing is I wasn't driving my leg into the ground, that left leg. Imagine that, why you might be hesitant of pushing a kind of an injured leg into the ground. So when I started running, when it was kind of still swollen, still hurt, I was kind of making sure, and I wasn't sure what was going on with my knee. Was not driving that into the ground. And when I started actually driving it into the ground and pushing off properly, all of a sudden the speed, I just instantly had another gear. I was kind of clumsy because I still haven't figured out, to make that smooth yet, but that will come pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I could feel my aerobic. I lost some aerobic, and I guess that's why I should have been on the bike this week or this last week to keep, some of that. Don't lose another week of aerobic fitness. But when I looked at my cadence, basically, and this will be backwards, right? So you'll have to read it from right to left. You can see on those slow miles when I took off fast, I was at a 155, and then as I started figuring it out, I was up over 180 again, and that's where I'm used to being. But it was more driving that foot into the ground and pushing off and doing that evenly. Another way to think of it for you bikers is, why do you clip in with bike shoes? So you can pull up and push down, pull up and push down. You need to be driving, and then not only driving into the ground, but then once I started doing that, it was more of a smooth motion of pushing off. So when you're off a little bit or you have something that's off, you almost have to relearn all of that. And you think that naturally will come back just by feel. And feel is off. In other words, you're not in balance. So feeling it isn't good. That's when it's helpful for a running buddy that's looking at you or saying, "Hey, your form sucks," or you're doing something weird. I know when I'm running next to David Wortman, I know when he's getting tired. And how do I know that? It's when his feet starts hitting the ground and he starts making noise. So use your ears to kind of listen to your feet and just listen to your body. Don't just feel it. And so I'm kind of encouraged now. Discouraged when you start, encouraged just keep getting out there and trying the next best thing, and you might get there. Go Wildcats.